All right, my man Chance.
What's up? What's up?
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come in, chat with me, talk artist pop-ups, and share your story. I appreciate you.
Hey, no problem, man. I love to be here. I love to do things like this in my free time when I do get some downtime. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So for all the people who don't know who you are, give us a little background on yourself.
All right. So I'm Chance Smith. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia originally.
VA.
Played college basketball at Radford University. Had a great time there. Spent 22 years of my life just committed to basketball. Graduated, had no idea what I was going to do. Worked at a few different companies doing sales, marketing. Also did talent acquisition for a private equity firm for 5 years. And now I'm here starting my own business and been in it for 2 years.
Very nice, very nice. So your thing is Artist PopUps. Describe what Artist PopUps is.
All right, so Artist PopUps is a tech company, first and foremost, but it's a platform that allows musicians to get booked to your home or location. It's a location-based app that we're going to be launching here very soon. With that, it also allows you to search and see who's available for the time you selected. So let's say I want to get you to perform at my house or at my venue or for any occasion that I have tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I'll pull up and see who's available in my area, and I know you live 10 minutes away from me, so it's going to show what artists are available within that location. I'll be able to send a request to you, you show up, play, the app handles the payment, and then you can leave reviews as well.
Bada bing, bada boom. It's quick, huh?
Yes, sir. So I say a click of a button. We're just trying to streamline that booking process and really give more opportunity for musicians, as well as kind of giving other people the experience of music, not just in your regular setting like a festival or concert or just your average show.
Nice. So what sparked your interest on creating this platform?
So I would say it would go back to just being an avid music listener and just a lover of music, and really, I don't know, I guess just being around music. It was something where I couldn't sing. I wasn't somebody who was just like the best rapper or just like best lyricist, anything like that. I could dance a little bit, but that was it. I just knew I had an ear for music. And I was always going to like shows, going to concerts, even at a young age. And I was like, there needs to be a platform for other artists that are not on like the main stage to get there. So they need something to kind of, I guess, build their resume. And I said, why not create a platform where they can continue to get more gigs, get more shows, get more performances in the interim when they're not just reaching out to places and things like that.
Yeah, so I always think that the person you're trying to help was like you back then. So you were just looking for live music. You just have a passion for listening to artists, things like that.
Yeah, I don't know, it's probably like 20, 25 artists. Like I try to discover like 20, 25 artists a month. I just like have a passion in discovering like new artistry, whether it be something from like folk music to jazz to classical to hip hop to even like your dub step to your like open format DJs, anything like that.
Man, I gotta catch on one of your playlists because I can't even like listen to new music. It's hard for me sometimes.
So we actually I do curate playlists on Spotify as well. So it's anything, if you type in artists and then pop-ups, and we have like different hashtags after, but if you just type in artist pop-ups, it'll bring up probably like 5 or 6 playlists I've done.
Oh, bet.
It has a lot of different music on there for you.
So, how can artists benefit from using this app? Well, how does that work?
So, with I guess artists being able to benefit from it, it's perfect because it's a free platform. A lot of platforms now, they may charge you to get on there, but with this, it's going to be a free platform. Also, you don't have to search for gigs on it. They're going to be coming to you. So you can put your content on there. You can do whatever you would like to, and they'll just send you a request. There's incentives within the app. It's artists now that are doing free shows, as you know, you've probably been around it before, where they go out and, I'll do this for exposure, I'll do this to get a video footage or something like that, but why not do something that encompasses all that at once and you're still getting compensated for it? So that's just a huge benefit for the artist right there.
So the artist simply just plugs in they can like create a profile essentially?
Yeah, they create a profile just like you would on, let's say, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, anything you're going to create a profile on, it's the same concept.
And then just list your availability, and then people can see that.
Yep, they can see that, and they can send a request. But the best part about it is, like I said, we streamline that process where you don't have to worry about negotiating rate back and forth, and that's a big thing from like the user benefit side of things and also the artist benefit. So think about if I call you and I don't really know you, like, hey man, can you come play for my daughter's birthday, or can you come do this for my business? Can you be a DJ for a conference that we're having? And you're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna charge you $10,000, and you have no idea. So you're like, okay, yeah, I'll do it, but you don't know.
Yeah.
So making sure people are fairly compensated, and then also from a user standpoint, where you know that you're getting something that's credible as well.
Wow. And so how long in advance would like someone need to, like how quickly could I get someone here?
So it's an on-demand service. So we've had doing like our beta testing as well.
Yeah.
We've had somebody get booked less than an hour and a half before.
Wow.
So it can be from that to 3 or 4 months. I always tell people just to budget for it, and then you can book last minute. Just kind of you're gonna run that risk, but it's also something that like you don't have to really worry about it. Like I know people are like, oh man, I need to plan out and get the music 2 months before. No, you don't need to do that. Like it's something you can book a week before, a couple weeks before, a month before, anything like that.
Yeah, so you can even just be spontaneous and say, hey, my aux cord just broke. Boom. Let's get someone.
And that's exactly what it's for, because it's funny that you said that about your aux cord breaking. I was at my friend's house, and this is out in Matthews. He has a pretty nice sized house. Probably had like 30 people over there for a Halloween party.
Yeah.
And he kept leaving to go outside to the garage to play beer pong and do things like that. But what was happening was his phone was losing connection with the speakers, as you've probably seen that before. And I was like, man, what happened to the music? Everybody's like, what happened to the music? And it's like, why not just have somebody here? You're gonna pay a small fee. You just paid all this money for the drinks you got, the food you got catered here. Like, why not just budget some money for some good music, and you don't even have to worry about it?
Yeah, you can just have someone else take care of the music. You can enjoy the party and everything like that.
Exactly.
That's phenomenal. So music lovers, both music lovers and artists will just get the opportunity to just listen to that live. Whether it's a band, it can be bands too.
Yeah, it can be bands, musicians,
just straight sax, straight trumpet,
anything
whatever
like that.
that.
Think about it. It can be somebody playing clarinet.
It could be the man in DC that I always see with the different paint buckets.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's a good one too.
So even also like from a user standpoint too, it's something where we're making it accessible for everybody. That's a word I like to continue to use. Is like right now you don't think about music in a certain way or for a certain occasion. Is because it's not accessible to you. So we want to make it accessible to you, but also open your mind to music being used in different occasions. Like you go to yoga, I go to yoga when I can make it.
Yeah.
But think about having somebody just playing some smooth music, like when you're just doing yoga. Like you pay $10, $15, $20 a class. Like why not have them go ahead and book some music to your class? Like that's something different.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Or it could just be like an occasion we're hanging out with some friends. Like, man, I'm tired of going to the same bars. I'm tired of going to the same clubs. Like, let's have somebody over here.
Man, that's wild. Cause I'm thinking about all the events that I've gone to that don't have music.
Exactly.
All like the, events, get-togethers, everything like that you just potentially could just. I mean, background noise is just, it's gonna be there whether you like it or not, whether it's chatter, but if you could turn it into music, it might just change the whole feel of the event.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And that's not even the only thing. We also have like a rewards program and some other things that are going to benefit the user. I can't go into too much detail about it right now, but it's going to be something that is definitely worth like downloading and using the app. So
wow, coming soon.
Definitely coming soon.
The user rewards. I like that.
Breaking news.
So how is this going to affect the music culture, not just in Charlotte, but worldwide?
So what I say to everybody is like music is something that's consistent to human race, like just in general. It's something that you consume on a daily basis. Think about just your friends or even like the opposite sex, where you might be texting a girl and like, oh, have you listened to this song? You don't know her that well, but you're talking about music. Or a lot of the friends you have, hey man, let's go check this out, because you probably have the same interest in music. What we're doing, like I said, we're not disrupting. A lot of people use that in the tech community. Is like we're disrupting the industry. It's not that. It's something we're just opening people's minds, as I said, and giving them a different experience that they never have. So it's being able to see music in a different light. And from like a Charlotte level thing, is that we're gonna make these experiences something that you can, like I said, you can have anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be just in Charlotte. and change music culture here, but it'll be also worldwide. Like I said, we went to Austin, Texas recently for South by Southwest. We were just in Chicago as well. We went to South America earlier last year.
Wow.
So we were down there for a couple weeks, kind of filling out how the market is there. We went to Europe last year, and we're going again here soon in a couple months, right around the time that we launch, just to fill out the market there. So it's not going to be just in one local area; it's going to be everywhere. So that's something where I want people to say now, oh, I don't live here, so I'm not going to be able to use it. No, it's not that. Like, this is a mobile platform. Like, with technology nowadays, you're going to be able to use it wherever.
And once it drops, will it drop worldwide or?
Yes, it'll be worldwide.
Yeah.
It'll be worldwide. It'll be something that you'll be able to use no matter where you're at. And that's a benefit for artists. Going back to that, I know we hit on a few things, but think about an artist that's touring, being able to say that I'm in a certain location and update my availability in that location. So if you're traveling to, let's say, I'm going to California and I'll be there in, let's say, July. Well, in July, I can put that I'm there for 20 days and set my availability. Yeah, I have shows on this day, that day, but I'm free on these other days. So people who are looking for music during that time period, they can request you. And that's something where you could, essentially book your tour through the platform.
Yeah. Do you see like big artists that are doing tours and stuff using this as well, or like just even like sneaking up like a?
Yeah, so that's a big thing. Even like the whole concept, like artist pop-ups. Like, think about an artist popping up on you where I'm in a certain location and I may have a show on a Thursday night and I don't have another show until Sunday night. Like, what are you doing on Friday and Saturday? Where it's like, hey, I'm here. Like, come enjoy the show. Because a lot of people say that. You might go to, let's say, a Travis Scott concert. You're like, oh, I heard Travis Scott's going to be here. I heard this is going to be here. And it never ends up happening. But with a platform like this could be something where they can be compensated for it, as well as you can enjoy that experience as well. So that's a big thing.
Cause I think that'd be cool to get it, like, I saw T.I. at 5 Church one time, and it was like a 80-person setting, and it blew me away. And I was like, man, if you could like surprise guests with like, if an artist just came up and said, hey, you can book me on Artist PopUps today, something like that, and I think that would be pretty awesome.
It's funny, I talked to him briefly here recently when we were down in Austin, Texas. He was a speaker at the house that we were at for the first event that we had. And it's funny, I was just telling him a little bit about the concept, and he was like, man, just keep at it. Like, really like positive feedback on it. So that's funny that you mentioned his name.
Yeah, he was the man. I walked into this, it was some hat. I think, what's that big hat company? The main snapbacker and everything.
Is it New Era?
New Era was taking over NASCAR, and it was like this big party, and then they were like, yeah, here's your wristband, there's open bar, and T.I. is performing in an hour. I was like, no way. So let's transition a little bit to you. Have you always had this like entrepreneurial spirit where you're wanting to start something of your own?
I would say it's something that's always been ingrained in me from an early age. I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and I knew the kind of lifestyle and I guess the life that I wanted to lead and live as well. Yeah. And I think it's always been ingrained in me, even from an early age. So me and my business partner, we've been best friends for over 20 years. We've had several businesses together, even dating back to high school. So we were not only just like basketball players, but he used to make music as well. So he would do everything from making beats, producing music. I would go out and shop the beats to different artists that are around like our area. But we also had an entertainment company. So we would dress up like clowns. Like, it's funny. We would go to these parties, excuse me. We would go to these parties for like little kids and things like that, and just dance and do just different things like that. We were like in 10th grade before we could even really drive. And then we also would throw parties as well. So I would DJ the parties. My dad coached football, so his teammates would work the door and work security and things like that. And I would DJ, my friend would walk around greeting guests, things like that. And it was just 3 of us at the time.
Wow.
And we did this and made money when we were in high school. So I think it's always been something that's been within me.
That's pretty cool. I think it's all the way back to that. What have been some obstacles that you've had to overcome in the process of creating Artist PopUps?
I would say, so the first thing is there's obstacles every day with this. I've always been raised with the mentality to just never doubt yourself. because things are going to get in the way. But with Artist PopUps, I mean, we've gone through things as far as like changes with the logo, changes with design, changes in development, concept changes, just different things we've worked through. And it's something that when you continue to grow a company, you're going to face obstacles, but you can never let that get you down. So it's not something where, oh, I had a bad day at work, let's just get after it tomorrow. It's like I had a bad morning, but I'm not going to let that stop me from my afternoon or my evening or my weekend as well, because it never stops.
Yep.
So that's just something that, I mean, you continue to go through obstacles and, like I said, just attack every day. Like, let's get it. Let's get it.
Gotta have that short memory.
Exactly.
You can't have that lingering mistake or lingering obstacle just keep you from progressing to that next.
It's the same thing
next step.
with like playing sports as well. You know, if you're a basketball player and you're a shooter, you miss 5 in a row. I'm gonna hit the next one. I'm gonna hit the next one.
Always gonna hit the next
Same
one.
mentality.
Yeah. And so how has opening this business or even previous businesses before helped you grow as a person? Like, have you seen any changes in your routines or any mindset shifts, things like that have kind of helped you kind of get where you are?
So I would say that it's been something I've really grown as a person, especially starting this company 2 years ago. I would say around like 3 years ago, I've really really got to know myself and like who I am as a person. I think a lot of things before that were more on like a high level. If you know me, it's like, oh, Chance is cool with everybody. But it's more of like, I really got to know myself growing this company. I've gone through things where people talk about mental health and they're like, oh man, it's a huge thing. And I actually see why that is like a huge thing, because you can really like get down and get depressed. When you're in there working alone, everybody else is doing something different. Let's say your friend who used to do whatever with you back in the day is now super successful, and you're like thinking about what they're doing, things like that. You just have to continue to stay focused. And I mean, I've really just honed in on like who I am and grown as a person. Like, I've had certain friends that they're your friends. They might be in your circle, but they're not always in your corner. So it's different. That. It's different things as far as that. Just growing as a person as well, and knowing who you are, and just like I said, going out every day and being like, okay, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win every day. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna win. I might take a loss, but it's not a loss. It's a learning opportunity. Let's continue to win. Let's continue to win.
Yeah. I either win or I learn.
Exactly.
And I like that. People may be in your circle, but they're not in your corner.
Not in your
They
corner.
may not be in your corner. Man, that's a huge one. What advice would you give someone who's looking to start their own business, app, whatever it may be?
I would say that there is no better time than now. That is the biggest thing. A lot of people is like, man, when I get this or when I do this, I'm gonna do it. No, start now. You should have started yesterday if you were gonna do it. Like, just start now. Like, even with what you're doing right now, like, you're like, Chance, I'm gonna do a podcast. You told me about it, and the episode dropped, and I was like, okay. So I don't even have to ask any questions.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is it's a marathon, not a sprint. The same thing with the Nipsey Hussle just passed away, like, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
But I mean, with him, like he said it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not anything where you're running a quick race. It's a marathon. There's a lot of people, like I was dating back to people that my friend, he's the same age as me. He's successful. There's people that are 25, 30 years old, millionaires. There's people like your parents that may be 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, and they're retired at that age. Mm-hmm. But you run your own race. You don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing. So it's your individual race. You might be successful at 50 years old, but success to you looks different than how it looks to other people. So you have to just really figure out who you are. Like I said, going back to growing as a person, and say that, hey, I'm not worried about what everybody else is doing or checking for them on social media. I'm more focused on what my race is and the marathon that I'm running. So
yeah, man, gotta love that. I mean, it took me 8 months to release a podcast, and then the day I released it was the day a weight was lifted off my shoulder.
Exactly.
I was like, man, why did I wait so long?
That's funny. That's funny because I think that goes back to the whole, like, I always tell my business partner this. We go on the phone, I'm like, stop comparing, just grind. Yeah. Like, that's what it comes down to, because you can get caught up I know everybody does it when you go back to like routine. You wake up in the morning, you scroll social media, you forget one of the things you were gonna do, and you get up, brush your teeth, go shower, go get ready for your day, and then you go back, look at social media. And social media is not all bad. Like it's definitely like it's a good tool for you to use. But when you start comparing and not using it for a purpose, then that's when it kind of goes against your grind. So like I said, stop comparing and just grind.
Yeah. Don't people watch and compare.
Exactly.
It's good to celebrate other people and hit the double tap a couple times and get some motivation. But there's a lot of envious people that are on those timelines that are scrolling. And that's really kind of where you gotta kind of nip it. You know?
And even with like what you said too, like double tapping and like showing support, I think a lot of people feel like, I don't know, maybe it's something that, oh, I can't follow them because I'm not going to have a good ratio, or I'm not going to like that because I'm liking too many posts. No, be who you are. If you don't like pictures, don't like pictures. If you like pictures, like pictures. If you want to comment, comment. If you want to say something funny, say something funny. But you're always going to continue to support people. Like the hate and doing things like that, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's like I've never been like that. I've never been somebody that's like, man, they're doing this, man. It's just like what I was going to do, or man, he's doing this, I should have been here. Or like, I played against people that play in the NBA right now. It's like, man, I'm sitting at home eating these chips, but I'm Derrick Rose is playing, like, he's in the NBA. Like, I can't compare myself to that. I can just congratulate him, support him on what he's doing. And like I said, his race is different than mine. So I'm happy for what they're doing. I'm happy for everybody what they're doing.
Oh yeah, gotta be happy. I still don't understand the people that show hate on social media. How do you have? I don't know how you have that time.
Exactly. It's taken away from you. It's not getting anywhere.
You have the time to put a crazy comment on something. Oh, dead me with that. So yeah, what are some habits and routines that you do that you would recommend for someone to get more out of their day, their week, their year, their life, something like that?
I would say, I mean, I have a routine and it changes all the time, but it is still the same routine. It's from things as far as organizing my schedule and what I know I have coming up. Being on time is a big thing with me. I know it's probably about a minute too late
Hey, no
with the rain today, but I mean, it's really about kind of knowing your schedule and planning for it. My routine is, like I said, I get up in the morning. I'll have probably 3 or 4 days out the week. I'll get up and work out early in the morning. Whether it's I get up and run to get my brain moving, and not just my body moving, but my brain. I think getting up and working out in the morning is very vital to the day. Whether you're doing something, walking on the treadmill, you're biking, you're running, you're lifting, you're doing yoga, you're going to shooting basketball in the morning, whatever you're doing, it's something that gets your brain moving. And I like to keep that routine, probably like 3 or 4 times out the week when I can. Mm-hmm. When I'm traveling, I always bring workout clothes. My business partner's like, why is your bag so packed so tight? Well, I have my clothes for our conferences, our meetings, and then our other events, but I also have clothes for where I'm going to get up, I'm going to work out, or during the middle of the day I might work out. Or if I have a busy day where I have to get up very early to get the day going, I'll work out in the afternoon, but I'll find a way to do it. Mm-hmm. And also finding that time to eat still and eat the right things is something that's big. Yeah. But just keeping that routine, it's very vital to like entrepreneurship, because things are going to always change being an entrepreneur, where it could be meetings getting canceled, or the app could be working today and then it could be crashing the next day. So you need to go back and fix all of these things, but your routine has to stay the same. So you plan for that.
Yeah, I love that you add the working out in, because that's just, I mean, at least for me, I know that you gotta, I feel like you have to give energy to get energy. Mm-hmm. And so by just getting that workout in, you've already given the world and yourself so much that now you can, it opens you up for everything else. For whatever, you have brain power and everything too. I mean, shoot, I wish I got my morning started today with the workout, but I'm probably gonna get after it after this. If you knew Chance, you would know that what?
You would know that I put out that same energy that I want to receive. Know that I'm a caring person. I'm that person that's always going to be in your corner, no matter who you are. If you're a friend, family member, loved one, I'm always going to be in your corner. If you call me for anything, I'm there. Another thing with me is I keep it real, so I hold people accountable. It's like I hold myself accountable. If I'm not going to do something, then I'm not going to expect you to do it. But if you tell me, hey, I'm going to do this, you don't do it, I'm going to call you out on it. And I feel like that's the right thing to do, because I would want somebody to do the same thing to me. And I'm not even talking about from even like a business standpoint, even from like, hey, you got something on your lip or you got something in your hair. I'm gonna tell you about it. Like, don't feel a way about it. I want you to tell me too. I don't want to go around looking crusty. Like help me out.
Yeah, just that little feedback.
Exactly.
Little feedback. You can't be scared to give that feedback to someone, because they'll be walking around with that spinach in their teeth all day. So if you could take a page, this is where I got the question. I always thought that I could always take a page out of someone else's book and learn something from it and add it to my personal encyclopedia. And then I have my book of Roman, where it's just like I learned all these lessons from all these different people. If you could take a page out of your book and give it to the world, what would that page say?
That page would definitely say is that, and I know we talked earlier, I want to hit on that before I go into this, is that we talked earlier about, I think we talked about like finances and kind of like what the next opportunity looks like. I would say you have to love freedom more than you love these jobs. It's something that, and I got that from Mark Lamont as well, as like, you have to love freedom more than you love these jobs, because those jobs are always going to be there, but that freedom is not always going to be there. Your life is going to change, and if you have that freedom right now, you have to use it to your full ability. Is that it's something that it's not going to come later on. Like, do it while you have it, and see how you feel. Like, you're going to be much happier, and continue to work for something that makes you happy versus like the money. Like right now, I'm not making much money, but I'm not worried about the money, because the money's gonna come.
Yeah.
Or somebody might say like, hey, Facebook and Google, they have this, they have that, they have innovation lab, or they have somebody's running a project, or they're running capture on this. I'm doing all of that for just my company. So I can always go and work at these companies, but those jobs are always gonna be there. This freedom and what I'm doing and what's making me happy is not always gonna be there. So you should seize it now.
Yeah, man, I think I needed to hear that. I think you're speaking to me right now. I hope you're speaking to other people listening to this, because that just hit hard for me, man. I gotta take advantage of this freedom a little more than I have been. Thank you for that. So where can people find you and Artist PopUps on social media?
So it's Artist PopUps for everything. It's ARTIST POPUPS, and that's Artist PopUps. It's going to be Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. A lot of updates are on Instagram. Our website is www.artistpopups.com. You can find us on there. A big thing now is really getting people to subscribe. As we near the launch of our platform and our app, I want people that are music lovers and musicians and things like that, musicians who are looking to get compensated, looking to build their fan base organically. It's something that I really think is going to be beneficial to them. It makes no sense to me why you would do something for free when you can do that and plus more and get compensated for it on a platform like Artist PopUps is where you need to be.
Artist PopUps is a spot.
And we're not trying to take away from what you're doing already. We're just trying to kind of fill that gap for you and be there and also give users that new experience where they're able to use that.
Awesome. So any last thoughts for the listeners? I appreciate everything you said, man. There's getting some gold out there, but you got any last little bits for us?
Just the last thing is going back to that marathon. Like I said, run your own race. Don't really look for other people for satisfaction or clarity on things. If you know it in your heart, do it. It goes back to even like testing in school. When you go back and erase a lot of answers and change them, what is your grade most of the time? It's normally a bad grade. Go with your gut and then move forward from there.
Awesome. Chance. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate you.